I was watching this um, Sam Ovens video, and in the first 20 minutes, he just said so many things that made complete sense, and I was like, I gotta make a video about this, okay? So the unfortunate thing is that I made a video before this using my gear and everything, and it just didn't record for some reason. So now I'm recording on my laptop. And yeah, before you say, "Oh, it's another guy in a tank top and a nose strap," thinking like he's Hormozy or something, give me a couple minutes here. Um, I think that this is probably not the most well-made top type of videos, like one-on-one speaking to you. And you're probably thinking this guy got an accent. I don't know where he's from or what the fuck he's going to say, but you know, I usually like this type of videos because these are probably the most relatable videos because you can relate to people, their their journey, a lot of things about them. So I've been on a journey of self-improvement for the last 5 years or 4 years, and I've been through pretty much everything. I've 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 experienced a lot of things. So and as you know, the most important thing in this self improvement field is discipline. Everybody talks about discipline, motivation. Everyone talks about it, and Sam Ovens did talking about getting back to the video I was talking about. Sam Ovens did talk about it, but in a very straightforward, easy way. And I realized that I was just making it complicated for myself, and it costed me, 5 years of lost potential, basically. So what I learned is that some things are just easy. Discipline is easy on paper, of course, but if you can just understand how easy it is, you can try to implement it, because the way he describes it is that you just gotta say no to some things. It's not about doing things, it's just about resisting some things. And in the process of resisting, I know that what used to happen to me and what I still do sometimes is negotiate with myself. Because when we start consuming a lot of content, seeing a lot of people, we start our self development journey, we start reading books, discovering different approaches, different philosophies, and you're like a sponge. You absorb a lot of information and you process it your own way, because we're all different and everyone gets his own vision of things. And what happened to me is that I got pretty, a lot of things made sense to me, and I started to negotiate with myself, like the bullshit of stoicism and work-life balance and that stuff. And when you start mixing those things with just the reality and the brutality of getting a business working, which is part of self-development, getting your business to 10,000 a month, which I think, if you're watching this video, was one of your um, goals. um, I start to like just explain things and like, oh, I should not work all day because this certain philosopher says that it's all about purpose and all about balance, and these things just. So I think that this is the case when I will say that the least you know, the better. Because what happened to me is that I went down that rabbit hole, which was basically mental masturbation, watching philosophers and conquerors and people. Yeah, it's good for your general information, but it just confuses you during that process of crafting your mind, the way you should think to have that tunnel vision. It these things are, you know are distractions. And what happened to me is that every time I was going full on a a business idea, for example, SMMA wanted to grow an agency, I was thinking about what's what's the most optimal morning routine I should start with. Should I like take a cold shower before at 6 a.m. or should I do a cold plunge instead? You know, these fucking stupid things. And getting back to Sam Ovens, it's that easy. Just do things and resist the bad things. You know, do your work, and if you have like a craving of doing, I don't know, going to a porn site or eating junk food, you just resist yourself and say no to that. And what used to happen, what I used to do is just negotiate with myself because I was like, yeah, it's been a week. For example, let's take the cheat meal example. I was like, yeah, it's been a week since I ate something. So basically, I will make today my cheat day, and instead of Saturday, and I won't go to the gym. You know, just fucking bullshit. And as you know, your brain is so good at creating, um, making things sound logical because you just want them. So if you don't resist them, your brain will make them seem logical and make sense. And I used to do that a lot, and I was drowning in that. And it just frustrates me every time, and it breaks that cycle and it repeats itself. So basically, the idea that I want you to take from this is that it's that easy. The process is that easy. Just resist temptations. When you feel like doing something, think about it like the gym. Let's take the gym example, the way Sam Evans explains it. Um, because he was also talking about pain tolerance. So if you resist things, obviously you will feel pain. And when you feel pain, that's where you should train yourself to just get familiar with that pain. It's the same analogy with the gym. At the beginning, you just resist the weights so you build bigger muscles. And discipline is the same thing. You just resist the weight of these cravings and these things you want to do, and eventually your brain gets better. Do you know, like your brain won't even crave those things. And he also made the analogy of when you're in pain, we all have, if you're watching this video, you know that I know that you've been to the gym maybe 1 year, 2 years, and you know that feeling of leg days at the beginning, they feel painful and you don't like that pain because it's uncomfortable. But after a couple months, you start to like that pain because you know that it's through that pain that you grow. And after 4 or 5 or 6 months, it doesn't bother you that much, and you actually start to enjoy it because you know that through that pain you will build muscle. And it's at that point when you start giving your best and giving most effort basically. And it's the same analogy with business. When you're working and you're feeling overwhelmed and you feel stuck and you feel like nothing is moving forward, that's the moment when you just resist the craving of quitting, first of all, and then keep in mind that you're training your brain to just handle these situations more and more until it becomes so normal that you just outperform in those circumstances.